She worth it. She worth it. She worth it. She worth it. Worth it.
Hey, family. Welcome to the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. I am your host and your favorite, Sandy Best Life Jones, and I am here to help you discover the purpose and the plan for your life through honoring God, honoring your body, and owning your worth. Oh, yes, we are a faith-based platform, but all who come in peace are welcome. All right, y'all. I am so happy today. One of my absolute favorite bloggers is here with me tonight on the Girl Talk Sunday sofa. I'm so happy. I don't even know what to do. I have been following her vlog for almost a year now, and I'm gonna say a little bit more when I bring her out. But I love people who are not afraid to walk in the realness of who they are. Even when doing that makes other people uncomfortable because they haven't figured out how to be real yet. It's not about being offensive. It's just about being who you are. And sometimes that makes people uncomfortable, but you have to be who you are anyway. And Chloe is an expert on being Chloe. Can't nobody be Chloe like Chloe. And that is why I love at being Chloe Barksdale. So I want to introduce her properly because I need y'all to know who Chloe is. Chloe is the CEO of Barksdale House Media Limited Company. She says her channel is a safe space for women, especially Black women over 50, who are ready to stop shrinking, start shining, and say yes to the soft life, the loud laughter, the deep peace, and the joy that we have all earned the right to enjoy. Chloe Barksdale is here, and I'm going to bring her out right now. There she goes.
Oh my
Hey, girl.
girl, that introduction, is that me?
That is you. That is you, girl.
I
Yes.
pray so. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I watch your vlogs and I see your victories. I see those valley moments. I watch you when you are hanging with your girls, and then I see you when you're at home and it's just you and the walls and maybe some of the insecurities and the doubts and the fears, and you let it all out. You're not afraid to talk about any of it. And that is one of the reasons why I love your vlog. I love people who are not afraid to walk in their authenticity. And I think you do it really, really well. Have you always been that way?
No,
No?
I have not. It's taken me, really, to be quite honest, becoming almost, I started loving myself more when I got closer to my 50s. Up until that time, I really wasn't sure. I'm still trying to figure this thing out, but I really wasn't sure who I was because of so many things that I had gone through in my younger years. And I was still holding on to a lot of things. And once I began to let those things go, then who I am began to blossom.
So when you began to let go of some of the things that you have been carrying around, I would venture to say from childhood on up, maybe some not so great experiences.
Yes. And then also, as we get older, especially with, our generation, am I Generation Z? Am I Generation X? I think I'm Gen Z. Am I Gen Z?
We
Terms,
ex,
yeah.
girl. We
We ex,
ex.
girl. We ex. We girl. We ex. We ex. Um, we started to lose so many people. I went
Mhm.
through a time span in about maybe not quite 2 years where I lost like 15 people that I
Mhm.
either went to from elementary to high school with, or in
Mhm.
my church, or grew up in my neighborhood. And at that time, we were in our 40s,
Mhm.
maybe early 50s.
Mhm.
And I just began to realize that I need to live because I never
Mhm.
know, what's going to happen next. And I need to, excuse me, I need to just live. I
Mhm.
need to fight myself about my insecurities. And
Mhm.
I just, I always go back to Ayana Van Zant. Her
Mhm.
books have truly helped me deal with a very painful past, but also helped me to learn how to love me as well as my other sisters and my brothers.
Mhm.
So no, I haven't always been how I am now. And sometimes it's not fake,
Mhm.
but I have to force myself to not go back in my shell. And I have to fight
Yeah.
my insecurities still.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you right there all the way. I do the same thing. And people tend to think that because you're a good communicator that makes you an extrovert, but that's not always the case.
It's
I'm an
not.
introverted extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it takes a lot to bring me out of my shell.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't know that about me, and then when they find that out, they don't believe me. And I
They
feel like you get that same kind of treatment.
no one, the people who, because first of all, my whole life has been working in customer service, which is um, basically what many would say a people pleasing position.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, but then at the same time, I love that. I've always loved that position because of my own insecurities.
Mhm.
But working in customer service, you have to be outgoing.
Mhm.
But then it's like whenever it's just me, or even whenever I walk into a room, people say I command the room, but really when I walk into the room, I'm kind of like shrinking into myself.
Yeah.
But I purposely make myself step outside the box. And that's what being an introvert, extrovert, that's where
Mhm.
it intersects as far as I'm concerned. A lot of times I make myself um, be more sociable. Um, yeah, a lot of times I make myself be more social, but a lot of times my being sociable is to encourage other people because I never want anyone to feel like I used to feel.
Mhm. And do you ever have times where you let it be okay that you don't want to be sociable?
I do. And
Yeah.
I've had to learn the balance, and I had to learn to set boundaries.
Mhm.
Um, because again, the people pleaser that is within me doesn't like to tell anybody no.
Yeah.
And I found myself at one time um, nearly having a breakdown because I was trying to support and say yes to everybody because everybody wants to invite me to things and do things with them and be there. And so I couldn't tell them no, especially whenever you support me.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
found myself breaking down one day because um, I couldn't keep up. It was just too much going on. And like within a 1 hour window, I completely forgot what I was supposed to be going somewhere else.
Mhm.
And then that person called me. There's like, Chloe, where you at? We're waiting on you. And I was like really a 30-minute drive away. And I just broke down crying because within an hour, I completely forgot that I was supposed to be somewhere else. And
Mhm.
so I learned to set boundaries
Mhm.
where I won't answer my phone, where
Mhm.
even as much as I won't immediately return text messages. I
Mhm.
won't immediately return emails because I need to make sure that I'm good mentally before I can, give myself to give anything to anybody else.
Yeah, and I've seen you on your vlog and you'll just say, "Slow down, Chloe. Slow down. You're
Mhm.
doing too much." So it's like you
Yes.
remind yourself
Yes.
Because too much stimulation around you, it will have you'll have a breakdown. It's too much.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
and you got to be able to recognize it.
and with us going through menopause, it's just menopause, and to be quite honest, our parents, our grandmothers, our mothers spoke about menopause, but when I have these conversations with my girlfriends, my opinion is that yes, it is menopause, it's the hormonal imbalance, but it's also the fact that our grandmothers and mothers didn't have so much processed food, the chemicals, all of that contributes to our brain's health. And they also didn't have social media.
Right.
And so all of that is contributing to just whenever you hear me say, slow down, Chloe, because I've become very forgetful. And it was to the point where I was afraid that I had early onset Alzheimer's or dementia until I started talking to other women who are also going through menopause.
Yeah. Yeah, that brain fog is definitely not for everybody, but for me, that's a menopause related thing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say to you what I say to every guest that joins me on the Girl Talk Sunday sofa. Chloe, tell us who you are, tell us what you do, and tell us why you do it. But before you do, I want to make sure I share the live because I forgot.
Oh my goodness.
Let me make sure I do it, because if I don't, somebody's going to message me. It don't matter who it is. Somebody is going to message me and say, I can't see the live. Now, why they can't see the live, I don't know.
I don't know.
But they're going to message me. So let me go ahead and share it. Let me see. Okay, we are live. Okay, there we go. Come on in, family. All right, take it away.
Okay, now what was the question? The question was, who am
Tell
I?
us who you are. Tell us what you do, and tell us why you do it.
Okay, now you might have to repeat that again.
Okay.
Oh my God, who am I? I am someone who doesn't like to talk about who she is. I am. I'm one of those people that wants to dig deep and learn who you are. I'm a Scorpio. They say Scorpios are secretive. It's not that I am secretive. You know, we was raised in an era where we were taught not to talk about ourselves because it comes off as being conceited or arrogant. And so that has followed me for 54 years. But I can say, let's see, who am I? Chloe is someone who loves very hard. Chloe is someone who is very giving. And Chloe is also someone who is very forgiving. I love to help people. You know, I guess that's why I've been in customer service since I was like 14, 15 years old. And part of that is because of my insecurities growing up. I never want anybody to feel the way that I felt. And so I am someone who often goes out of my way for others. And sometimes it's taken for granted. But I'm just a really cool, laid back chick who is single, finally has come into her own, loving her life, and most importantly, has created this amazing relationship with God. And I'll be honest with you, I did not truly develop a true, strong spiritual connection with God until I was in my 40s. Yeah, until I was in my 40s. Go back to the Yana Van Sant book. But now, you know, he and I, that's my homie. He and I we're like this. So I am a submissive type of woman. I truly believe in the pecking order of male, female. I still believe in roles. I guess you can just say I'm still old school, but I've never been married. Enough of that. Now, what do I do? Well, I'm a YouTuber.
Mhm,
I am a YouTuber.
mhm,
I am a contractor for my old job.
mhm.
I have written a couple of books. If you go look up Chloe Barksdale on Amazon, you might find a book or two out of there that I've written.
What? Did
Yeah, that I self-published. Now, now they're risque. They're,
Okay.
they're risque. But writing is something that I have done since I was in elementary school. It's always been my means of escape.
Yeah.
So I would say I am an author. I am a person that has a YouTube channel. But first and foremost, I am a writer. I am an author. That is my passion.
Mhm. And I
Um,
know you're working on another book too, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm working on part two that everybody's been worrying me about that I should have completed years ago. I'm gonna be honest with you. I usually have about 7 or 8 books going at one time,
Mhm,
and it's the ADHD that's in me, and it's
mhm,
like I've even gone so far as deleted like 10 books
mm,
just so I can try and focus on one, but
mhm.
that didn't work. That didn't work. And what was the
So,
third? Uh-huh.
so the third one was, why do you do what you do? What was the inspiration behind the Over 50 Diaries, and what was going on in your life during the time that you decided to do this vlog?
Well, I had a YouTube years ago, so this channel has been there,
Mhm,
but at the time it set at like 258 subscribers,
mhm,
and those subscribers came from whenever I had my podcast on Facebook.
mhm,
But at the time, I was too insecure to
mm, mhm.
truly pursue it. I'm like, what could I possibly have to talk about that anybody wants to talk about? I don't do makeup tutorials. I don't do hair tutorials. I don't do how-tos. So it's like, why would anyone be interested in me? And
Right.
then, it's one of those things where you start comparing yourself to others, and the more you compare yourself to others, the smaller you get.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
my YouTube channel sat there for some years,
Mhm,
and what happened was that I really wasn't a big YouTube watcher
mhm,
until I cut the cord. And when I
mhm,
cut the cord, I started watching YouTube, and
mhm,
then I started researching, starting your own channel. And what happened was that one day, um, one of my girlfriends that I grew up with in church, I ran across her YouTube page, Life with
mhm,
India.
mhm.
And I was like, wow. So I reached out to her. I'm like, girl, I said, I just came across your YouTube channel. Why you didn't tell me? She said, I wanted to grow my audience authentically. She said, I did not want to ask anybody, any of my friends or family or anything to, join my page.
Mhm.
And so I said, okay, I get it, because it's disheartening that oftentimes the people that you would expect to support you, the people you know and your family and
Yeah.
friends,
They don't.
don't. They
Mhm,
don't. And then you have strangers
mhm,
who reach out to you and
mhm.
ask you to be on their podcast, and all of this greatness. And so
Yeah.
she and I got to talking, and she was like, sis, she says, there is room for us on YouTube. She says,
Mhm.
50 and older, 40 and older, we are thirsting
Yeah.
for to be able to find other people that we can relate to, especially
Mhm.
going through menopause. Menopause has been a hot button topic, it seems like, and I guess because of our generation, we're
Mhm.
now entering that phase. So the last couple of years, I'll say the last 4 years is when 4 or 5 years is when it's really just been it's really come to the forefront of me being able to see so many people talking about it. And
Yeah.
plus, we talk about it more than our aunts and our
Mhm. Oh,
grandmothers.
yeah, definitely.
They really didn't. They'll tell you about hot flashes, but they
Mhm,
didn't tell you everything about
mhm,
menopause.
mhm,
So, in talking to India, she was like, Chloe, she said, I promise you, says you would do amazing. They really would, just your daily life, what it is that, you're going through. She said, girl, people are nosy. They want to know what's in the kitchen cabinets. They want to know what's, they want to
That
know what,
is true.
they want to know what you cooking. They want to know all of that. And so I'm going to be honest, sis, I actually, before I said, okay, because
Mhm,
this is me having to push myself to
mhm,
step
mhm.
outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so I have not pushed myself, I actually have to challenge myself.
Mhm,
And so I said, you know what? I said, I had a conversation, of course, with God, and we always talk. And
mhm.
then I also had a conversation with myself, and I'm like, you know, if you're going to get on YouTube, you just got to be you.
Yeah.
Don't try and pretend to be anybody that you're not.
Mhm,
Don't worry about what others may say or others may think. Um, just be you. And
mhm.
I've really gotten to that I D give, I don't give a darn
Mhm,
era
mhm,
in my life.
mhm,
And so that was a catalyst for me starting my YouTube channel, is that the more I talked to my girlfriends and we talked about what we're going through in life, you
mhm,
know, some married, a lot of them are single,
mhm,
dealing with dating, dealing with sex, celibacy, choosing to be celibate, the
mhm,
4B movement, um,
mhm,
the stress, the hair loss, the menopause, all of that. The more I talk to my girlfriends about it, and they
mhm.
are like, I mean, we having a whole big girlfriend conversation, like, girl, you too? I said, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what my channel is going to be about. My
Mm.
daily life, and just talk about what comes to mind.
Have you noticed that a lot of women in their 50s, especially Black women, um, we have a tendency to feel stuck,
Hmm.
either stuck in a job we don't like, stuck in a relationship or a marriage that just is not working, stuck in a friend circle that no longer serves a purpose that is positive in our life, or just stuck in general and not having any forward movement in life. Have
Yes.
you ever felt that way? And
Yes.
and what did it take for you to begin to embrace the season that you're in and the growth that you're experiencing in your life?
Now I'm going to say that sometimes I still feel stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Too.
but watching my mother age, my
Mm-hmm.
mother has been a huge catalyst for the changes that I've made. When I said that I started making changes, like coming up to 50, my late 40s,
Mm-hmm.
my mother has been very instrumental in that, and not necessarily in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mother was very controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had a very tumultuous relationship. She was
Mm-hmm.
very negative, and so she started to, run people away, but she couldn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, as her health was failing,
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about my own mortality. I started thinking about, you know, could this possibly be me in a couple of years? Heart failing, kidneys failing,
Mm-hmm.
um, just and then not only did I start thinking about could this be me, I
Mm-hmm.
started realizing that it will be me. Not necessarily maybe the same things that she's going through,
Right.
but um, all of that came into to play as far as becoming a pivotal point in my life where I started to self-analyze and change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And your mother passed away in May of last year, right?
May 2004,
Yeah,
2024. Yeah.
24. I know you talk about it a lot in your vlog and how you helped take care of her as she was getting sick, but there was still some unfinished business between the two of you. Do you feel like you were able to resolve some of that before she passed away, or is there still some things that you wish you could have talked to her about before she left you?
I'm not going to say there wasn't anything to resolve once I accepted that she was who she was, and
Mm,
that no matter what I said, she could only love me to the capacity that she can love me.
mhm,
And once I started to accept that um, she wasn't going to be the mother that I needed her to be, my
mhm,
whole outlook on things changed. Now, did she continue to hurt me and mentally abuse me and verbally abuse me? Of course she did. But
mm,
I'm also a very forgiving person.
mhm.
And it's not just with my mom. I've been like that my whole life.
Yeah.
But the older that I got, in my 40s, and I started working on being more positive about life and manifestations and things like that,
Mhm,
I became a person who believes in take the good, toss the
mhm,
bad, and keep going.
mhm,
And so even, you know, I was my mom's sole caregiver for the last 5 years of her life.
mhm,
And I got the mother that I wanted, that I always wanted and prayed for. I
mhm,
got her the last 2 months, April, May,
mm,
the last 2 months of her life. That's the mother that I got. And so that's the mother that I remember. I,
mhm,
I, I don't dwell on the past. I don't um, feel any anger or resentment towards her.
mhm,
Um, I miss her.
mhm,
I miss her. And I have to keep reminding myself that she was 86 years old. But
mhm.
I will say that my relationship with her has made me a better person and a better mother to my daughter because I wanted to break that cycle.
Yeah.
Um, so in that sense, take the good, toss the bad, and keep it going. There's so many things about my mom that I inherited from her that is endearing to me. But then
Mhm.
there's so many things that I inherited from her also that I don't like. But
Yeah.
again, take the good,
Mhm.
toss the bad, and
Yeah.
keep it moving.
I was gonna ask you, I'm glad you brought up your daughter. I was gonna ask you, did your ability to mature in that area where you figured out, okay, my mom is just who she is and she's doing the best she can with what she knows. Were you able to come to that conclusion and come to that level of maturity because you have a daughter of your own? And now you get to see life through the mother's eyes. Whereas when you didn't have your daughter and it was just you and your mother, you were looking at life as a daughter. And sometimes that makes it difficult to understand your mother. But when you have a daughter of your own, you begin to see life as a mother. So did having your daughter allow you to see your mother a little bit differently and in a way where you were able to accept that she did the best she could with what she knew, even though the best she could wasn't really enough for you?
No,
Mhm,
no. Like I said, my daughter, I'm gonna say honestly, I was not always the best mother in
mhm,
the sense that I was still, running the streets and, I made a lot of mistakes. But I also, looking at it from the perspective of still being a daughter
mhm,
that now has a daughter, what it did for me was not necessarily understand my mother better,
mhm,
per se. It was my realizing that I don't want my daughter to feel the way that my mother makes me feel.
mm, mhm,
Some people repeat the cycle.
mhm,
Um, I don't know what it is. I don't understand the tumultuous relationships between mothers and daughters because most of the time we're the ones who want the girl and the
mhm.
fathers want the boy. But we always end up clinging to the boy.
Right.
And, we, yes. And
Yeah.
so with, you know, with my daughter, it was just about breaking cycles. Now, I didn't do it. I didn't begin to realize the mistakes that I was making until she was maybe like 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's so many things that I wanted to make sure that I was different
Mm-hmm.
about than my mother. You know, it's a lot of things that I don't believe in that people still believe in. I don't believe in corporal punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that a child should not be heard and only seen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't believe that a child doesn't have rights. I don't
Mhm.
believe that a child that you don't you everything is my business if you're in my house. But then of course, I still have a certain level of respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't believe, whenever we were growing up and your uncle wanted a hug, give your uncle a hug or go ahead and go kiss your auntie who dips snuff and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that that is your body. From the
Yeah.
time that you are a little teeny tiny baby, babies can feel the energy of others.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her body. And if she
Yeah.
doesn't want to hug you or kiss you, she doesn't have to. That's
Right.
her body.
Right.
And so there's so many things that I was raised, so many ways that I was raised that
Mm-hmm.
when it came to my daughter,
Mm-mm.
I wasn't going to repeat that cycle
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
know how it made me feel as a child.
Yeah. That is so that's wisdom. That's grown woman wisdom. Because a lot of grown women that have daughters of their own still don't feel strong enough, brave enough to raise their daughters in a way that doesn't mirror what the stuff that they went through that they wish they hadn't gone through. There are a lot of women that are raising daughters right now and they don't feel strong enough to stand up for and defend their daughters against toxic family members and toxic people, period. They haven't found the strength to be able to do that. But for you to make a conscious decision to say, I don't want my daughter to feel the way I felt as a child. So
Mhm.
these are the boundaries I'm going to put in place to
Mhm.
protect her. That's grown woman wisdom.
Oh, baby, it ain't been easy, but it's been real. It's been real. And because of it, she is such a beautiful person, inside and out. Such an amazing. Everybody says that about their daughters,
Mhm.
but I have so many people that they just speak so well of her
Mhm.
because of the type of person that she is. So I'm very proud of her.
Yeah. Do you think that your daughter can look at you now? How old is she? 30? Is she
She's
30?
30. Hmm.
30? Do you
Hmm.
think she looks at you now and she says, my mom did the best she could.
She does. We
And
just had the
now
conversation on Friday.
yeah,
We
yeah.
just had that conversation on Friday because, one of the things that I had to do,
Mhm.
um, and again, it's my mother was the catalyst. One of
Mhm.
the things that I've always done was apologize to my daughter whenever I'm wrong, or
Mhm.
apologize to her whenever I do something. I don't believe in the do as I say, not as I do.
Mhm.
I don't believe in not listening to you saying that I hurt your feelings or something bothers you, or, we have a very open communication.
Good.
And one of the things that I had to do was apologize to her for the mistakes that I made whenever I was younger.
Mhm.
And she because we went through a lot of stuff. We went through so much to the point where when she was 19 years old, she
Mhm.
was in school for hair, but she was also doing hair. She was making more money than me.
Mm.
And my mindset is that she's still in school. I don't want her to have to worry about any bills. I'm going to take care of it.
Mhm.
What happened is that the um, lights got cut off.
Mm.
And she's like, Mama, she was like, you got to stop keeping secrets from me. You got to stop trying to protect me. She said, I'm a grown woman now. She
Mhm.
was like, I make good money. I can help you pay the bills.
Mhm.
And at the age of 19, she decided that she wanted to pay half of the rent. She did try to negotiate for the master bedroom. That's going to be a heck no, young lady. But she just, we just had this conversation Friday. We went out to happy hour. Supposed to be me and Lish, but I was asking my daughter about this spot, and so she said that, well, Mom, I want to come, and she brought a boyfriend and everything. And we were just having a conversation at the table, and she said, she knew that we had, gone through a lot, but she says, I know that you was doing the best that you could, because she knew that her father wasn't helping. And she told me, years ago, she was like, Mama, you was trying to raise me and figure out life, and also look for the kind of love that you was seeking, all at the same time. She was like, I mean, she now she tells me I need to forgive she said, Mama, I've been forgave you. You need to work on forgiving yourself. She
Yeah.
tells me that all the time.
Oh, that is so sweet. So I heard you say that you've never been married, but I know that you have been in relationships, you've been in love, you've been engaged.
I have.
So why do you think you've never been married?
Honestly, I've been in like long-term relationships, like, with her dad. I was with her dad from 21 to like 24. And then for 3 years after that, I was like celibate. And then I met my fiance, and we was together for like 3 years. And then I became celibate again. And then I dated here and there, and then I met my ex, who I was with for 6 years. And he took all of my 40s. He was, when I met him, he was 28. I was 33. And by the time we broke up, I was 39, but continued to see him for another 2 years. I blame myself. But first, let me go back and say that for the longest amount of time, I never wanted to get married. I didn't want to, marriage was not important to me until I got with my ex. Before then, watching my mom and my dad fight like Ike and Tina all the time, I said, if this is what marriage is like, I don't want no parts of it. And it was just so confusing because they would fight, but my mom was very old school. And that's why I say it's certain things that I love about myself that I inherited from her, but sometimes it can be a double-edged sword. Because they would fight, and then she would go cook dinner. She would iron all his clothes for work tomorrow, lay it out, pack his lunch. When she got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work at General Motors, she started his coffee. And so it was like, watching that growing up was very confusing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what it taught me is that no matter what you go through, you stick and stay. And even though I wasn't marrying these men, I was still sticking and staying for years on end. And then I look up, and we're in the era that we're in now. When we were in our 20s and even early 30s, men were different than they are now. They dated you more. It wasn't always such a power struggle about who's gonna pay for this, or if you suggest that you want to see the new Superman movie come out, he see that as you asking him out on a date. So whenever you get there, he wants you to buy the tickets. It's just that, and it's not like it's the younger men who are thinking like that.
Right.
It's men who are our age, and that's not how you was raised.
Right.
And we want to quantify us as being gold diggers, and so it's just now. Have you heard of the 4B movement? I want you to look up the 4B movement. The 4B movement started in Korea. And it started with the Korean women who was just fed up. They was just tired of men. And so they stopped cooking, they stopped cleaning, they stopped having their babies, they stopped catering to them, all of that. I need you to look it up.
Okay, I will.
But here's the thing is that I used to want love so badly
Mm-hmm.
because of what I experienced growing up, but I didn't necessarily want marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been through so much with men that I'll say I'm almost 55, over the last 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
my desire for male companionship has waned. It's easy for me to get over you. It's easy for me to quickly block you and delete you. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm at such peace right now in my life that I'm gonna be honest with you. I fear that I'm too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'll say, yeah, I want to get married one day and dear future husband and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But to be quite honest, whenever I'm here in my house alone, girl, I don't even think about getting married, a husband, a man, or any of that. Honey, none of it. I walk around here in my underwear, and tank top, and eat what I want to eat, and drink a whole Pepsi, and all of that. And I don't want to be responsible. I think I'm kind of like stuck where I don't want to be responsible for anybody else's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to dinner with my really, really good friend, my preschool friend. We went to preschool together. I went to
Mhm,
dinner with her last night. We were having this exact conversation.
mhm.
And she said, the way I feel right now, if I did get married, I would want us to live in a duplex. And he live on his side and I live on my side. And when we want to meet, we meet. And then he go back to his side and I go back to my side. It's like I want the companionship, but I don't know if I want what marriage represents. So are you saying that you don't want to be married, or are you saying if you do marry, it has to be the right man?
Sandy, you know what I say, because I pray to God. I pray to God. This is my prayer, and it's crazy because I haven't been praying it as much as I used to. My
Mm-hmm.
prayer every day, of course, is God increase me,
Mm-hmm.
God decrease me and increase you in me, so that when people see me, they see the God in me. And whenever they
Mm-hmm.
see the God in me, that will draw them to you because they want to know what is it that makes me feel like I do, and God is you.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. The second thing that I said for years, but then now it's like, are you saying it because you really mean it? Or are you just saying it because
Mm,
society has it in your head that this is how it's supposed to be? But then
yeah.
also, then you start thinking, well, I don't want to die alone, and I
Mhm.
don't want my daughter to be responsible for me.
Mhm.
But my prayer is, God, heal and protect and prepare my husband for me as
Mhm.
you are preparing and healing, and protecting me for him, so that whenever we see each other, we will recognize each other and know that we are ordained by you. God, please let him have already submitted to you, because I have submitted to you. And whenever I have submitted to you, as long as he submitted to you, then that means that I am submitted to you through him as well.
Mhm.
Please
Mhm.
bring me a praying man. I need a man who is going to pray over me, who I am going to pray over, and who
Mhm.
also I can pray with, and is not afraid to reach across the table, grab my hand, let us pray. Whenever we going through some issues, whatever,
Yeah.
let us pray together on it. These are my prayers. But
Mhm.
Sandy,
Mhm.
I don't know if they're being prayed out of redundancy
Yeah.
or if it's coming from my heart, because I'm so at peace. And
Yeah.
it's like whenever I meet somebody, the smallest thing would just be like, mm-mm. So I don't know if it's because he's not it, and the right person hasn't come along,
Mhm.
um, to break down the wall,
Mhm.
or if it's just possibly not in the cards for me to have anyone.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe it's just that you have learned to be content in the season that you're in and not long for what may never come and be okay if it never comes. But you're open to the possibility of meeting the right man and exploring whether or not you want to spend the rest of your life with him. But in the meantime, as you stay fully present in your life, you've just learned to be fully present in your life and be content with the life that you have as a single woman. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I hope
It's
that that's
okay.
it, because girl, I'd be over here feeling like I don't want to be bothered. I used to, in the meantime, I need to go over there and grab that book and reread that book. But it's like it's I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest, and I know that this is a Christian channel, but I'm just like, even the men that you start dating and you're getting along well, they don't know how to be intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The intimacy has changed tremendously, physically.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it a couple of years ago. I started seeing somebody, the guy who stood me, the Leo that stood me up that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I started seeing him here, and I was dating. And when we finally became intimate, only thing that, and I was done with him probably in about a month after we became intimate. I said, I just wasted my coochie. I said, here it is.
Lord.
I said, here it is. I have been celibate for well over a year. I said, now, because it's just like, it's like you start, it's something I've been, I'm like, now I got to start all over again. I wasted my coochie. If I would not have, then I could have
Oh Lord.
I could have kept my pocketbook closed, as my grandmother Adonia said. I could kept my pocketbook closed, and I'll be on year 2. But no. And so it's like, even now, I don't want to waste my coochie, Sandy.
Wait, can you say Gucci on Sunday?
Yes, you can say coochie on Sunday. God is proud of the fact that I am not out here wasting his coochie.
You know what? That part.
God is
That
proud
part
of it.
right there. Yeah.
God is, and that's another thing whenever it comes to dating, Sandy. It's like,
Mhm.
men nowadays, everything is microwaved. And
Yeah.
I'm old school in a lot of ways. I was raised with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
losing him at 18 was very traumatic. But then sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like as a grown woman dating, had he continued to live. But he set a certain standard. That's another
Yep.
reason that goes
Yep.
back to, why am I not married?
Mm-hmm.
Sandy, he set a certain standard
Yeah.
that, it's like they say, your father is who a girl first falls in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And he sets the bar and the measure by which she measures all men.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that things have changed, life has evolved,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't speak to me about God and the Bible and being a Christian, and you want to piece it together to how it benefits you.
Yeah.
Because if you really are that man, I don't have a problem submitting to you. But you have to be a protector and a provider. And you have to, whenever I say a protector, you have to make me feel secure. I
Yeah.
understand that my mama made more money than my dad. And I understand that there's not going to be a man that, is probably going to let me, sit at home. And I wouldn't even want that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the tug of war, my father, there's just certain men, he just made me feel protected.
Mm-hmm.
And rare is the day now that the men that I stayed with, that I was in relationships with exception of one, they made me feel protected. They made me feel like little mama. They made me feel cared for. But dating now, it's terrible. I'm not your father. That's your problem. I'm like, so is he supposed to set the bar, or is he not supposed to set the bar? Or is it that the bar that he set is a bar that you definitely don't want to reach, because women today have made it so easy for men that now men are the prize?
Yeah. So do you feel like there's a level of security that you should have already attained before a man comes into your life and he adds to that security? Or should he be the origin of that security that you want to feel and that you need?
Well, the security for me is not like, I'm handling and doing everything that myself as it is and have been since I moved out at the age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as security and feeling protected, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I am good for getting nails in my tire, popping my tire, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, girl. Girl, ever since you've been watching me, like, how many tires is this girl gonna go through?
Yeah.
Goodness. But security for me is knowing I can depend on you, knowing that I can call you and it's like, baby, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Security for me is like, all right, woman, sit down, I got this. That's
Mm-hmm.
letting me know that you are
Okay.
a protector. That makes me feel secure. Security for me is me knowing that I can call on you and depend on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you
Man,
want him
these,
to add to the
I want
security
him
you've
to,
already created for yourself, because you're already doing it.
I
But if he
want
can
him
add
I
to it,
want him to add to it, and I
yeah.
want him to take away some of these. If you're coming into my life and my life is not going to shift in
Mm-hmm.
a better direction, what are you coming into my life for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because my dad would whoop my butt for some of the things that I have accepted
Mm-hmm.
and dealt with as far as a man is concerned. Like he would be like, Lee, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, a man he doesn't have to drive a Bentley. He doesn't have to live in a mansion. He
Mm-hmm.
does have to have a job. He
Mm-hmm.
does have all the what ifs and what if this and what if he's a good man. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that everything is always a power struggle and a what if.
Yeah.
Some for me, I've learned to love myself enough to say, no, that's not going to work for me. I've
Yeah.
learned to love myself enough to say, these are my expectations. And I've
Right.
learned to love myself enough to say that if
Mm-hmm.
you don't meet those qualifications or you don't make me feel secure or this, that, and the third, I'm okay with walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm okay with being alone. Because
Yeah.
if you can't meet certain expectations, no, I'm not going to settle. And no, I'm not going to regulate my list of 3 things that I want in a man. No, God said to ask and you shall receive. So I'm going to ask for it. Oh, girl, I want him to be chocolate. If I don't get it, God, I understand. Those are something I can compromise on, but I'm going to ask for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It don't hurt to ask.
It don't hurt to ask.
I
I might
know
not
that's
get
right.
it. I might not get it, but God has the perfect man for me. If it
Mm-hmm.
is meant to happen, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
out here being patient, girl, and
Yeah.
enjoying this single life until he comes.
Yeah. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about your online community that you've built and that you're still building, you're continuing to build, because the followers, hey, they don't play about Chloe.
I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
I
How
met
much?
a follower in Jamaica when I was getting on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ran into a follower. That just blew
Oh,
my mind. Yeah, in Jamaica.
nice. How
Mhm.
much have they contributed to your personal growth in your life?
Baby, you guys have no idea how pivotal
Mm-hmm.
my life has been because of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just, you guys encourage me. You guys tell me that you love me. You guys
Mm-hmm.
tell me that you can relate to it.
Yeah.
And it's what you guys are the reason that I kept going. I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys are the reason that I have continued to thrive, that I have continued to share, that I
Mm-hmm.
have continued to be transparent, because it seems like the more I talk about things, the more I realize that my girlfriends, my sisters, y'all going through it too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you guys are my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
are.
Yeah. Yeah. You're building something really beautiful, Chloe. I don't know if you realize it yet. I don't think you realize the magnitude of the contribution that you're making to the Black woman collective. I don't think you see it yet, but I think you will. You will, because I read the comments on all of your videos. I go through and I read them.
I
And
try
you
to
have
respond
been
to everybody. I try to.
yeah, yeah. You've been such an encouragement, such an inspiration, such an example to the women that follow your blog and they watch your channel and they support your channel. And I think that it would be doing us an injustice if you moved away from being authentic to being a little bit more cookie cutter to maybe get more views, more clicks, more likes, more subs. You know, I don't see you doing that. And I hope you never do, because it's the authenticity of you that is drawing in your subscribers and increasing your viewership. So I hope you stay with that, because it's very, very powerful. There are a lot of women that just, for whatever reason, they cannot step into the realness of who they are and just to be and show up as their true authentic selves. But you are doing that, and you're doing it publicly on a public stage in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And it doesn't mean that you get it right every time.
Right.
That's not what that means.
No, because
It
they
just,
don't get in my behind a couple of times. But you're right. You're right.
it just means
They
that
say I
you
hate Black people.
what?
Girl, they be getting so mad at me whenever I be talking about my people with the pool situation
Mm-hmm.
or leaving trash outside. So you know it wasn't nobody but us. Girl, they get somebody, they tear me up about that. I'm like, if they listening to Sexy Red and it's blasting at the pool,
Mm.
you know is us, and they get mad.
It is what it is,
It
though.
is
Why
what
you
it is.
mad?
It is what it is. But
Yeah.
when I say I love you guys have truly helped me to grow. And no, Sandy, I'm not going to change.
Good.
One thing that I will say is that you guys will help. You guys will. I'm not going to change being the authentic, real person that I am,
Mhm.
but you guys will be growing with me. You guys will be watching me step outside of my comfort zone, going out, trying new things, trying new experiences. Just because I want to live the best life that I possibly can while I can.
Mhm. And you have a podcast that you're building.
I do, and I love the name, and I'm so excited about it.
Mhm. Can you share the name?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no.
That's okay.
Actually, it's like between two.
Mhm.
It's between two. I'm trying to, because I want it to be grown. I want it to be inspiring.
Yeah.
I want it to be a little sassy,
Mhm.
but not too sassy. But I'm really excited about it because I've had 2 podcasts before,
Mhm.
but they were with others.
Mhm.
And even though it started out being my podcast, I brought them on because I didn't feel like I could stand alone.
Mhm.
And it would be going so great, but I was doing all the work. And it would
Mhm.
be going so great, and I'm committed to it. But it's like, well, at the last minute, I can't today because I got to go this, I got to do that. And it's like, this is business.
Mhm.
And so with this, you guys have been the encouragement for me to start this podcast
Mhm.
outside of my regular channel, so we can really have some good conversations outside of my daily life. I want to know what's going on in you guys' head. I want to know about
Yeah.
your menopause. I want to know how you guys deal with grief. I want to know how many are you evoking the 4B movement and don't even realize that you're entering the 4B movement.
Mhm.
Um, I want to pick your brains. I want to sit down and have these serious girlfriend conversations like you and I are having now.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, my menopause is doing what she do, which is why I have this fan right here next to me.
I heard you turn the fan on.
I don't play. I
heard
don't
you
play.
turned it on.
Listen, when they hit, I need some air and I need it instantly. So I know this about myself. So I make sure that I have what I need, because listen, I'll be done melted in this chair.
Girl, I have a fan
Yeah.
blowing right in my face. And so that's the things that we need to talk about, because there's so many symptoms and everything
Yeah.
that you and one thing that I want to encourage my girlfriends to do, especially as a woman,
Mhm.
if you can find you especially once we get to perimenopause and
Mhm.
menopause,
Mhm.
it may be hard, but you may want to switch to a female doctor, because I've had one girlfriend who is now in perimenopause, and she went to her doctor, and her doctor immediately subscribed her, what is the Xanax. He subscribed her Xanax, and he subscribed her something else. And I'm listening to her talk, and I'm like, girl, that's menopause. You need to go to a woman, because women better and now women doctors are getting more into
Yes.
talking to
I
us
know.
about menopause. And there's so many symptoms, the little things, the aches, the pains, the blurry vision, we're a lot of us are sitting around here thinking that we have dementia or Alzheimer's, and come to find out it's menopause.
And what is frozen shoulder?
I
What is
don't
that?
know. I don't
It's
know.
a
What,
symptom.
you get frozen shoulder?
I had it before I started eating carnivore, and now I don't have any aches and pains in my body, but I had it before. But I didn't even know that was a menopause symptom until I did some research. And I'm like, what where does it come from? Why? And it's all about hormones.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a decrease in estrogen. That's where all
Mm-hmm.
these symptoms pop up from. Did not know that until I started researching for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now I figured out, oh, okay, too much sugar, too many processed carbs. Those
Right.
two things do not go with a decrease in estrogen. You're just gonna be jacked up. I was jacked up for a long time.
Mm-hmm. The cortisol, the belly fat that you can't get rid
Yeah.
of, the desire to just snack and eat, the desire for carbs and all of this. A lot of it is menopause, but then also it's the chemicals that they're putting in the food that we eat.
Yeah.
But at
Well,
50,
mhm.
at
Go
50,
ahead.
these are the conversations that we need to have more of.
Yes, we do. And I see it everywhere now. I see it everywhere. I have a really good friend. She has a doctorate in nursing, and she comes on my show every year. She'll be coming on in November. And she talks about all of that: peri, post, hormones, estrogen, cortisol, weight gain. She's a physical trainer, all of the things. And so she's going to be coming on, just to give us some more insight into some of the symptoms that we might be having that we may not understand. And she goes really into detail about that. So be on the lookout for that, because she's going to be coming back. She's going to help me close out my season. This is my 4th season of Girl Talk Sunday. Yes. And the season ends at the end of October, but she's coming in November just to do a show on women's health issues and how we can start to take control of our health and our wellness. We don't have to just fall out and give in to menopause. It's inevitable. We all go through it, but there is a way that we can decrease the symptoms.
Exactly.
So we're just not going through it in a miserable state. And she's going to talk about all of that when she comes back in November.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Am I now on the list to get notifications every week about your show?
Yes, you are, my dear.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was in the number.
You are in the number. I want to ask you a final question.
Yes.
If you could go back and talk to 40-year-old Chloe, what would you have to say?
Girl, you are enough. You are enough. You have a beautiful spirit. You have a beautiful soul. If you want to be a flight attendant still, go ahead and reapply. I would have a conversation with her that I was having with younger women that were younger than me, because I was pouring into other women, but I wasn't believing it for myself. So number one, it would be like, girl, go ahead and go back to school, get your degree. Don't waste your coochie.
Don't waste your coochie.
Don't waste your coochie.
It's not for rent, ma'am.
It's not. It is not for rent. It is a gift. I would honestly say that I would also say have more patience with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Have more patience with her. Let it go in one ear and out the other. I mean, there's certain things that I probably would do differently,
Mhm.
but everything that I've gone through and everything I've experienced has made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing, just girl, you are beautiful, because I didn't think that I was. You know, girl, you are so worthy. You are so deserving. Um, Stop accepting things from people because of your insecurities. Stop letting people use you. Stop letting
Mhm.
people mistreat you and misuse you just because of the insecurities that you have. Those are the conversations that I would have with her.
Yeah. I noticed that you are very thoughtful when it comes to your friends. You are a gift giver. You put a lot of thought into the gifts that you give your friends and the things that you do for your friends. Do you feel that that's reciprocated to you?
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Mhm.
And for years, it didn't matter to me because I didn't think I was worthy. You
Mhm.
know, a lot of times I would do so many things um, because I didn't feel that I was worthy. You know,
Mhm.
even just as far as growing up in a very violent household, I felt like everybody knew what was going on in my home. And so I would overcompensate. My mom used to like, Lee, those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. But I
Mhm.
would overcompensate because I just didn't feel like I was good enough. I just didn't feel like I was worthy.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you feel like that unworthiness or the overcompensating, is that the people pleasing thing?
That's the people pleasing thing. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, it's it's partly that, but it's also in my nature. I just love to make people, it goes back to I don't ever want anyone to feel the way that I felt.
Mhm.
So in elementary school, I was the one who befriended
Mhm.
the child that everybody mistreated. I remember, and it's in my memoir, Black Hearts Don't Cry. I
Mhm.
promise you, I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish it before I turn 60.
I
Um,
believe in you.
it was her name was Louise, and she was a white girl. She was poor.
Mhm.
She was the only white girl that was in our school.
Mhm.
And I remember how they would mistreat her.
Mhm.
And so I was the one who would always, talk to her. It was
Mhm.
another young lady. She was very, very, very skinny,
Mhm.
and the kids would tease her so much that she would literally throw up in the bathroom. And those are the people that I always sought out
Mhm.
because I never want anyone to feel like I did.
Yeah.
And but it's just a part of me to be a giver. And for most of my life, it didn't matter if you didn't do the same.
Mhm.
And I don't give things to receive things, and I don't do things with expectations. But what I
Mhm.
have become over time is I've learned that people began to take who I am for granted. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm. Yeah.
they were so used to me being there. They were so
Mhm.
used to me doing this. They were so used to being able to call on me and know that I would be there.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I began to see that whenever I needed them, they weren't there for me.
Mhm.
And so instead of having expectations from them, I learned to categorize you. I learned
Mhm.
to
Okay.
really decide who
Mhm.
is worthy of that part of me.
Mhm.
I still will give like the some stuff is just, but whenever it comes to just like the real core of who I am,
Mhm.
I now protect that person, and
Mhm.
I'm more careful. I'm not sure if you saw the video about the young lady who was my girlfriend and she went behind my back and
Mhm.
started sleeping
I
with the
did.
guy. Okay, that one. That was the person that broke me.
Mm.
That was the one that truly broke me because I had just been there for her through so much.
Mhm.
It made me realize that people, and whenever she told me that she was, you know, messing with my ex or whatever, but she didn't want him to know that she had told me. For 2 years, I kept secret because because he would be mad at you for telling me. So I don't want him to be mad at you for telling me that you sleeping with him, who is my ex. And so for 2 years, I carried your secret. But then not only did I carry your secret, I became your confidant for all the mess that y'all was going through. So I became your confidant for you sleeping with my ex because you weren't his girlfriend, because that's part of the reason why you and I are not friends now. But I started to realize, Chloe, these people really take you for a fool.
Yeah.
And it's your fault because you have given them carte blanche to do it. So I'm still giving because that's just my nature, but I'm very protective of who I give. I'll give to anybody, but there's levels to it.
Okay. And did you struggle to get there? Was it a struggle for you to get to the point where you had to put friends in different categories so that you weren't giving too much? Was that a struggle?
It was a struggle for me at first, but even as far as like, I never want my friends to be mad at me. I never want them to be upset with me. So it was like, when it's, I talked about it before when it came to my girlfriends, we women usually would cut a man off, would cut our girlfriends off before we would cut a man off. A man can do whatever and we'll keep on taking him back, but a girlfriend can do one thing and she's out of here. I was the opposite. You could do whatever. But that situation made me really realize that I had been doing myself a disservice for so long. And I had been giving people the wrong impressions that they could just walk over me. And so I started setting boundaries, speaking out, realizing that you have certain friends and they fall into buckets, and that's okay. That doesn't make them less than a friend, but you just know that these are their limitations, these are their limitations, and these are their limitations.
Right.
And so that situation right there is what became the great divide.
Yeah. These are such valuable lessons. I'm telling you, there are women right now who are letting their friend circle run all over them, play in their face, you name it, all the things, because they don't know how to set boundaries. They don't even know that they need boundaries. They don't even know what boundaries are. And so they just accept any kind of behavior and treatment from people. And then you wonder why you're stressed out all the time. You're always sick. You always have a headache. It's because of the toxicity in your life that you won't allow yourself to see, because you so desperately want to keep a friend.
That's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of women that suffer from that.
That was me. That was me. I couldn't say no because I didn't want you to be mad at me.
Yeah.
Me and my best friend, we fell out for a while because I started to change and she didn't understand the change that was happening. And she took it personal. But and it's taken us a long time to get back to where we are. But the funny thing about it is that now she is beginning to have that same type of awakening. And so now she understands. It's nothing personal. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes I don't want to go. And I have friends outside of us, the same way that you have friends. It was like a situation where it was okay for her to have friends outside of us, for her to hang with, go on trips with, do whatever. But whenever I started to do the same, it made her uncomfortable because she was used to me always being right there. But I had to start pushing back, setting boundaries, saying no, and just speaking out and not just taking it.
Yeah. Well, I just want you to know that I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing. The work that you're doing is important and it matters. And I pray that God will continue to bless your every endeavor, and and that he will continue to remind you that you belong to him. You are his daughter. And therefore, you are never, ever, ever alone. Even when you find yourself in one of those seasons where you just feel like, what is wrong with me?
Right.
Why am I the one out here in my 50s, still single, still, wanting to be in a relationship, still wanting companionship? Why am I the one out here? Well, you're not the only one feeling like that. So then the question becomes, what can I do with my life to fill that space, fill that void, fill that emptiness? What can I do for me to help me understand that I have worth, whether I'm in a relationship or not? What can I do to begin to live the abundant life that God promised me? What can I do? Because we all know that faith without works is dead.
That's
So we
right.
can believe that we can have our best life, but if we don't go about doing the work to really experience that, we're just spinning our wheels. We're on a treadmill trying to get to Safeway, and we're never going to get to Safeway on a treadmill.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I just think that you having the willingness and the courage to show us the real life of Chloe is so commendable. And I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna keep following. I'm watching.
Well, honey, you got a fan too now, so I'm gonna be all in your business on Sundays. I sure am.
I'm excited to see what's next. So thank you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
having me. Thank you for reaching out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Girl, if
Girl.
I see somebody that's doing something and it's making me feel like, okay, I'm on the right track, I will reach out to them. I don't care who it is. I'll reach out to them. You
I
can
love
be
that.
as high level or wherever you are.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
reach out to you and have a conversation with you.
That Satanist, you see how you're encouraging and motivating and got me thinking, okay, Chloe, that's gonna be you in a little while.
That's right.
You never know who you are blessing, and you're
That's right.
blessing me.
Amen. You just don't know. We never know. That's why we got to continue to do what's right because it's right and keep being real.
Right.
Yes.
That's it. I can't be
Yes.
nobody. Nobody can be me, and I can't be nobody else, girl.
And you're just so good at it.
So you gonna get this same way you got that bikini in Jamaica. They ain't had no business winning. It's the same way that you gonna get me every single day. We gonna work
No,
on it.
that's right.
We gonna work on it. But the beach
Amen.
gonna get what the beach gonna get.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. You take care and be good.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Bless
Talk
you,
to you
darling.
soon.
All right.
Bye.
All right. That is our show for tonight. I just love me some Chloe Barksdale. Yes, I do. If you want to check out Chloe's show, you can go on YouTube at Being Chloe Barksdale. Go on over there and subscribe to her channel. Follow her blog. I'm telling you, Chloe be getting into a little bit of everything, but just the fact that she travels so much is what is another thing that keeps me watching because I'm really trying to step up my travel game. And when I tell you, Chloe be traveling, Chloe just came back from Jamaica. And a couple months ago, she went to, I think she was in Mexico or somewhere. And then she went to Daytona twice. So yeah, she loves to just get out there and live her life. She has friends that travel with her, or she'll go by herself. I think it was Mexico. She went by herself. And I admire women like that. I really do. I really want to step up my game when it comes to traveling and do it by myself if I have to. It's all right. I know how to get on a plane. I just think go buy a ticket and go. So that's what I'm gonna do. So y'all keep encouraging me and keep reminding me this is what I said I'm gonna do. I need your help in that area because me and flying just, we're trying to become friends, but we ain't friends yet. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Girl Talk Sunday will be back in a few weeks with a brand new episode. But until then, good night. God bless. Love you all.
worth it.